Hello, lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. I am Ash, and welcome to another video where we sit and we talk about one book. That book is Catching Fire by Susan Collins. It is the second book in the Hunger Games trilogy, and in my opinion, this book paves the way for Mockingjay. This is the book where you really get to see characters like Peeta, Haymitch, Effie. You get to see them shine. You also see the Capitol kind of break Katniss again. You see that Snow legitimately doesn't believe a word she says. They have an agreement not to lie to each other, which I feel like does not come into play until the third books, but this really sets the scene on what power President Snow really has on everybody. Katniss really gets hung out to dry in this one, and you see the pain of them going through not just any new Hunger Games, but the Quarter Quell. I'm trying so hard not to spoil anything just in case anybody decides to read this. Personally, this one is a close contender to a favorite of mine, but Mockingjay takes the cake. This one I rated a 4.75 because this one paves the way. It walks and crawls so that Mockingjay can run. Oh man, you get the aftermath of what happened in the previous Hunger Games versus the magical wedding that takes place, as well as you see Peeta really come into his own in this book, and you get to see why he is just this gentle, sweet, beautiful character. You see the pain that gets touched on with Haymitch and how hurt he is and what leads to him spending his days just drinking his life away and how painful it is. I can't promise that if I wasn't put in his shoes, I wouldn't too drink my life away. He was a child. These are kids that have to be put in an arena to fight for not even their freedom, to fight to get to go back home. And for what? A lesson so the Capitol can remind people of a war that happened, I don't know, God, like 75 years ago? What the hell? Like, absolutely asinine, I swear. You think Katniss would get a break. You think that she would just get to, like, after the first games, she just wanted to go home, crawl under a rock, and hide from the world. Why couldn't they just let her? Why? She wasn't going to start a rebellion. She didn't give a shit about the other districts. It's not your fault. You can't control your people, and your people are easily starving for freedom. Maybe that's a sign of your leadership, Snow. I don't know. Thought of that? That's an idea. Look at me getting real mad at fictional characters. I'm sorry. I just finished The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes yesterday, and I swear, I can't with his character. Snow, really. He is my favorite villain to hate, but boy, does he make my blood curdle. And in this one, it's no different. We also get to meet, I tell Chris all the time that our relationship reminds me a lot of Finnick and Annie. And you get to meet Finnick in this book, and he is such a wonderful soul, and you really don't get to see in this book the love he has for Annie, but it builds the groundwork for it. And that, to me, is the most marvelous part. So there's a scene in this one. They get basically put in an arena for the Quarter Quell, and there's a scene that absolutely breaks me in this book. It's not going to spoil anything, but I have to talk about it. The Jabberjay scene. When Finnick and Katniss get separated from the group and they're stuck listening to the Jabberjay scream, I get severe anxiety from that scene. I get severe anxiety when I watch the movie, and the movie, I feel, downplays it. The book makes it seem like a nightmare. Katniss is trying to console Finnick after he's pulled her out of her stress-induced anxiety, And she tries to tell him that that's not them, and Finnick claps back real quick with, "How do you think they got those screams?" Immediately it breaks me. Because the Capitol would break me. Let's be completely real. If you threw me in the Hunger Games, I would snap. I would lose it. I can't say I wouldn't try to win. I could say I would not be in a clear mind. The way that Annie snaps after her games, me, wholeheartedly. If I won, I could not live with the fact that 23 others died so I could win. And then you have like Haymitch's story, where if I'm not mistaken, there was 48 tributes. I could not survive knowing that kids no older than me and some younger than me, and some a few years older than me, had to die so I could live. And for what? For what? So I can go sit in a cozy house and get all the money in the world? I couldn't do it. I could not. I could not survive that life. No. Oh, just thinking about it sends like chills down my spine. And the thought that the Capitol controls these victors after they win for their own selfish gain really rubs me the wrong way. They will take your family. They will, Snow will take your family, because you see throughout the books just how clueless and sheltered the Capitol is. I'm over here like bending my book because I'm getting so mad. You see how sheltered the rest of the Capitol is, but Snow will take your families and use them against you for his own gain. He's such a fucking monster. He's a necessary evil, and he keeps the story moving, but God, is he a fucking monster. Amazing book. Fantastic book. Crawls so Mockingjay can run. If you have read this, start a conversation with me down in the comments. I would love to hear your opinions. I'm trying to make these as spoiler-free as possible, but I'm hoping that if you guys haven't read the books, you don't watch the video. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. Maybe I should start in the intro, like, being like, hey, if you haven't read this book, I can't be held accountable if you spoil something for yourself, because I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. As sometimes I get on a roll, I just start talking. Also, I've tried the script thing. I deviate from script. So you and me, we're just gonna sit here and we're just gonna chat. Just you and me about a book, and whatever happens, happens, whether I stumble over my words. I really tried. Like, I wrote out a whole script. I don't think I've stuck to it at all. No, I started with the first line, "Hello, lovelies, I am Ash, and welcome to my YouTube channel." Did I introduce myself to you? I think so. I don't know. I can't stick to a script to save my life, though. So we're just gonna sit here and we're just gonna chat about these books. But I'd love to hear your opinions if there are any books you'd like to recommend to me. I love dystopian books right now. That is my jam and my vibe. I look forward to talking to you guys about The Mockingjay, because this book just leads me into that amazing, wonderful story. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you sticking around, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye!